Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Oh, I never understood that one. I mean, none of us are adults. What are we doing with adult themes?
Well, it's just for legal purposes, We're not
Oh,
really
yeah.
adults, but,
Okay. Okay.
technically.
Actually, the whole adult theme thing always brings me back to the fact that I was watching Monty Python alone when I was like 9 years old, and somebody really should have been paying attention to that. Wasn't appropriate for a child that age.
I've said that
know.
before as well. My generation, we grew up with Laugh-In, Saturday Night Live, Monty Python, and National Lampoon magazine.
Yep.
There's no chance that we are ever going to come out normal.
Did you mention Laughing?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was man, I was working to understand some of that stuff.
Laugh-In is on daily here.
Oh. Okay.
And it's not funny anymore.
Okay.
It certainly was.
I know. When I was in Hostapol, I was watching a little bit of TV, which I never do because I don't have, cable or streaming or anything. And there was some Saturday night on there. Well, not at all funny. No.
So what's this opera day about? Besides opera,
Yeah. What is that?
Somebody sing a few notes.
Is Purple going to sing Figaro?
Figaro, 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 Figaro,
No.
Figaro, Figaro.
Actually, I'm the one who has sung Figaro, but that's another story entirely.
Well, we're done talking about opera.
well, I was looking at the whole thing. It ain't over until the fat lady sings. It comes from Ralph Carpenter, who was a journalist, a sports journalist in 1974, and it's in reference to Richard Wagner's opera, which was was basically 4 operas in one, spanning 17 hours. Basically, it's Lord of the Rings of the opera.
Yeah.
And
was that recent?
It's in reference to the soprano singer at the end who played Brunhilde, who sung things for 20 minutes at the end.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was that recent.
And neither did
Neither
I.
did I. I thought it went back a lot further.
Yeah.
I've always thought of opera in my own special way. I've always kind of termed it organized screaming.
Okay.
I just can't stand it. I try to be cultured, but
My ex's father was a major opera fan, and I really liked that about him. But as it turns out, I liked him a lot more than I liked her.
The Triceratops at the Science Museum of Minnesota is officially named Fafner,
All right.
after the dragon in Wagner's opera. And when it was first unveiled back in 1964, Wagner's niece put a gold ring around the nasal horn and said, finally, a crown for Fafner.
All right.
Well, to get us off track again, I've been looking at some more reports on the co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Oh, no. What
Yeah,
else
that
is
has not been happy news, has it?
No, it has not.
what's going on?
Apparently, there's more about how his behavior was behind the scenes in the workplace, and he was not a very good person.
Was he harassing the female employees?
Oh, that's part of it. Apparently, he was using his status to get away with being really shitty in the office of being the voices to the characters. And there's reports of him saying some really nasty stuff to minors.
Oh, shit.
Which I can't really repeat on stream.
Right. We don't want...
Well, if you can't
all this
repeat on
black
stream,
gold.
you shouldn't have been saying it to minors, obviously.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had no experience with Rick and Morty. Never seen it at all. I don't even know what the characters look like.
Mm,
I've seen most of them. I actually rather liked the show.
yeah, it took some getting used to, but I didn't really much care for the animation. Some of the honestly, the way they did the voices were a little off-putting at first, but I got used to it.
Are we done with opera? No, we can't be done with opera yet, can we?
No, actually, Mage just jumped subjects on us.
Yeah, I just jumped
Mhm.
subjects.
Yeah, we're doing our usual. What is it? The merry-go-round of the subjects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spend about 2 seconds on the actual topic and then move on.
Well, I was hoping to have a little discussion on it.
Yeah, we can go
What,
back to the opera
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
what do you got? What do you
Okay,
got going, Perp?
Before we get back to opera, I just want to mention that dog is in the side chat because people had been asking because nobody had seen him for like over a month.
Yay!
So and dog had told me on Twitter that was just that the hospital he was in, he wasn't comfortable getting online when he was there and having the people there see the stuff that he was listening to
That sucks.
Okay then.
because really just people running the place.
No.
Well, at least you're good. I mean,
Ah,
it could have been worse. It could have been because of health issues or whatever.
Yeah. So it's good to see that he is back and being functional.
well, so dog, woof woof.
Wait a minute, I've got to check out. If I drop out of sight, I'll be right back. I've got 2 StreamYard screens open, and I'm trying to close one of them. All right, am I still here?
Yeah,
You're still here.
All right, we're good. All right.
God damn it. Ah.
Yeah, I went a little while when I was in hospital on Sunday, and I'll tell you, it's not easy to go online in the hospital.
Yep. Okay, Carol, I see you in the side chat there. I sent you a link to your email. I'm sorry I did not get a chance to look at the side chat before now, so I have to go through and check up on all of this.
Restricted internet, dog. Okay.
I cannot see any side chat at all right now.
Okay, I see Greg Hartwick and
Greg,
Jeff out
where
there.
are you?
Robert X.
Yeah, Robert X and Nerdy.
Got Soft Girl.
Yep. Sloth Girl remembers laughing.
Did we miss anybody?
There's Stephanie. I see
Godless
Orla.
Scummer.
Yeah, I was looking at
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stephanie,
hello.
Stephanie, get your
Hello.
butt in here. Not right
Yeah.
away, but a little while later. I got something that some trans thing to talk about.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
Okay,
not,
well,
nothing.
we'll make
Nothing.
sure we get to this. Skits Crasher.
In where? I'm already here. What the fuck do you want from me?
And of course, the first week of the month, so Skits Crasher sent me money on PayPal again, so has
Yeah, I've got to
financially
look through
become my biggest subscriber.
The Lavender
really?
Lady. What's that person doing there?
I don't know who the hell that is. I wish she'd go away.
Well, I've heard about this ritual that maybe if I throw an internal organ at her, she might. So
Hey, come on! I'm in line. You don't want to throw all your.
Can we go back to opera?
All right, go back
Yep.
to opera.
Hooray!
Non condrai farfallone amoroso. Okay. Anyway,
actually, as far as opera goes, I had wanted to. I was trying to get Sloth Girl to do like a karaoke duet with me to Man of La Mancha. Because that's the best way I've ever found to sum up our relationship is that she is Sancho Panza to excuse me. She is Sancho Panza to my Don Quixote. It's her job to explain to the rest of the world all the weird stuff I do.
I could just see that. Photoshop you into the Picasso. You know, you and Sloth Girl. You know that one?
Yep. It's something I've always identified with.
Oh,
And
man.
now can I talk about opera?
Okay,
We've
Jenny.
been waiting for you.
No. Yeah, she did get kind of pushed back a couple times. Okay, Jenny, go ahead.
So what the fuck is the difference? You know, opera gets all these adulations. Oh, culture. It's so opera is so good. Oh, it's so sophisticated. Oh, it's rich people. Oh, you know, if you don't watch opera, you're just a lowly, you know, scum. But somebody explained to me how opera is any different than, say, West Side Story or seven guys for seven brides or whatever the name was. Show me how any of those are different than opera.
It's
You might
not.
be talking to the wrong crowd for this conversation.
No, especially West Side Story. They're really not different at all. It's just
Okay.
the scoring and the presentation.
Yeah, I really don't
Well,
see any actual difference, apart from the time period they're made in. They're just, musicals with the popular music of their time.
Yeah.
well, it's the speaking bit, I think, that makes the difference.
How the movies musicals have speaking in them too.
Well, I know, but opera tends not to. Opera tends to be all music,
Well, there is operetta.
and there is that.
Say again?
Oh, there's a different form. I did not know this.
Yeah. Die Fledermaus, for example, is an example of operetta, which is the opera with spoken parts.
They wrote an operetta about a bat.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the. I apologize because I don't remember the plot of Die Fledermaus.
Well, I don't
Sorry,
know what
every
it is
time
either,
you
but I
say
would suspect it's just not very good for the bat.
every time you say Deflator Mouse, though, I go back to the in the Tick series, the parody character of Batman they had, who was an
Okay.
absolute coward. But
If my sewing if my sewing machine gets too loud, let me know and I'll mute.
Okay. So far, I'm okay. So far, not too loud for me.
Louder. Louder. Come on, louder.
okay, Nerdy said maybe there's less dancing in opera.
Oh well, that sounds like a fair criticism. Because yeah, come to think of it, musicals do have a lot of dancing in them.
Yep, and Dog
Sloth
says
Girl.
musicals just have more talking parts.
I love that comment of yours, Sloth Girl. Yeah, my being adopted is kind of apropos.
Yeah, different adopted people might take that very differently, but
Oh, I've wanted for so long to do a show about that. Have you seen how many people there are on Twitter who are all in tears and complaining about being adopted and they don't have a family because they were thrown out and everything? I differ with them,
yeah.
and I'd really like to be able to have a conversation about that sort of thing that didn't go down the sewer very quickly. I mean, find out how people really feel about that. Because, okay, I am not enamored of my family. I think we all know this, but it's not because I was adopted. It's because they were arseholes. Okay, I mean, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yet another topic. There we are.
Well, I still live with my biological family, but I was adopted by the cats. So
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
the cats raised me. The larger humans generally ignored me.
My
Well,
ass,
that-
my
Humans
family
are
asked
shit.
my family asked me to leave, and I haven't been back. All right, so what they didn't ask, no, never
They
mind.
basically informed you, right? Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah, you know, it really, and I'm not, you know, I'm over it. You know, the trauma of it, but for people who are just going through it, and there's a lot of trans kids out there, and kids, I'm talking like 18 to 30, who are
Mhm.
just absolutely traumatized
Oh
that
yeah.
their parents have thrown them out.
Mhm.
That you know, in my mind, what it kind of says is that, well, these last 30 years that we have spent with you as our child, and we, you know, Christmas holidays, we all get together and hug and say I love you and all this kind of stuff, kind of makes it all meaningless, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. And the thing that gets to me, I don't understand quite how this worked, but I mean, we hated each other even before they disowned me. Yet I was in tears when they informed me, well, you know, goodbye. And I don't know, maybe it was just the way they did it. Because literally, the way they did it was goodbye. That was it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty final.
So, but he hated me. Oh God! I think when he found out that I had my own thoughts and opinions, and I could say no, I disagree. I think that's when he began to hate me.
Oh, how dare you have your own opinions?
Yeah, absolutely. And dog, yeah, these people with the true opera and stuff, have they never heard of Carmen? That was in French, for Christ's sake.
Okay, this bothers me.
Hmm.
Well, if you read this, then it appears that Sloth Girl has radicalized Nerdy Rodent.
Oh dear.
What are you talking about for those who can't see anything?
I was highlighting their comments on the screen. Sloth Girl said, give a man a match, he'll be warm for a few hours. Set him on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life.
Jesus Christ. Sloth girl. That is cold.
No,
Oh
it's
no,
quite warm, but
it's actually rather warm. Yes, I'm sorry.
Nerdy Rodent responded, let's burn everyone.
Oh, these are some hot takes.
Pachum.
Can't you get in trouble for this much flaming?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
what
to
I
start
call a
flame
flame
war.
war for sure. What a pain in the ass this is.
What are you doing, Stephanie? What is that procedure?
This is a ski bag that a friend of mine wanted the zipper replaced in, and it's a pain in the ass.
Oh my God. With what I've heard of, yeah, replacing zippers, it's not a fun thing.
I have to replace a zipper in a winter coat, a full length winter coat. The zipper in it lasted 1 day
Dear
Wow.
me,
and fell apart.
that's no good.
Nope, it's not.
Definitely not. Well, I hope it wasn't at our Land's End price, was it?
No, it was very reasonable.
Okay.
But still, you know, 1 day? Really?
Yeah, that's a bunch of poo poo. I'm amazed I still have my my coat. Well, It was a reasonable price because it was on a half price sale from Land's End. Mid calf, and nice and warm.
I got lucky a few months ago. I found a beautiful down coat at the thrift store that just happens to be a lovely purple.
All right.
So I was able to have a female styled winter coat.
Lovely.
That's important. It really is.
Maybe I'll...
I don't know. This time of year, I'm wearing those Mexican coarse weave cotton hoodies and a beat up old windbreaker over it. That's my winter coat.
Yep. Well, layers works.
And I always still wear my ankle length skirts in winter. I've got leggings underneath to stay warm.
Yeah.
I
but
love skirts.
skirts are amazingly warm.
Yeah.
They just trap all the air from coming in. You get this little tent of warmth.
Well, one thing I had definitely noticed is body hair makes more of a difference than people think.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that shaving your legs in the winter, you really notice the difference, even though I had pretty sparse body hair to begin with. Just the fact that it kept the leg of my pants that fraction of an inch away from my skin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I should shave the legs more. I mean, my leg hair is virtually non-existent now, which I'm happy for, but there's still enough that you kind of know something is there, and I really should do something about that. But the first time you walk across the room after having shaved your legs, wow, the way you can feel the air rush by and everything is an amazing sensation.
Yep.
It's a very popular thing that people talk about on Twitter as they're breaking their egg and getting ready to go out for the first time. They say, "Oh, I took a bath and I finally shaved my legs, and it was so exciting and wonderful." And it's just people are real tickled by doing it the first time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds cute.
hi, by the way.
Hi,
Say
Clara.
hello.
Hey, Clara.
Clara's in Germany.
Hi.
She's got a big delay.
Sweden.
Sweden. Well, yeah.
I mean Sweden. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you're better off than most of us then.
What? What did you say? I didn't hear
Probably
you.
safer.
You're better off than most of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Even as cold as it is, I wouldn't mind being in Sweden right about now. Who here saw the State of the Onion yesterday?
I watched it earlier or today.
I didn't want to get that angry, so I didn't watch it.
It was a lot of empty platitudes.
Yeah, really, all he could talk about was the economy, and that disappointed me. But oh well, what are you gonna? That attests to the state of the onion. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I did not. I had to sleep. Had reached that I got a crash now point in my life.
Mhm.
Sloth Girl is is definitely informed today.
She's pretty punny.
Yep.
I've been trying to put them up on the screen at least for a little bit.
Wow, I just realized how much snow is gone. You get 3-4 days in the 30s and 40s, and it really disappears.
Mm-hmm.
But never fear, we're getting a snowstorm tonight and tomorrow. Depends on what track it takes. They've said it's going to be anywhere from 1 to 10 inches.
Oh, great. Great
Yeah.
standard deviation there.
Well, they don't know how much it's going to rain also. So it's going to be an interesting day or two.
Well, all of our weather reports this year have been like that because it seems that the ways the storms are tracking, they will either hit us head on or they will just move about 50 miles south and we'll only get the fringe edge of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, a couple of times they have promised us 7 to 10 inches and we've gotten like, flurries or a dusting.
We've been in good shape as far as snow and temperature are concerned, both very, very mild. I'm going to be quite disappointed when winter actually arrives.
Well, I am very pleased that I don't have to go out tomorrow if I don't want to.
Okay, I like that priest joke from Soft Girl.
Oh, is tomorrow supposed to be bad? I haven't looked at a weather report.
Supposed to get some cold this weekend over in my area, or what passes for cold.
Yeah, well, where you are, cold is what, 60 degrees Fahrenheit?
I don't think they should let people in Florida use the word cold unless it goes below 30. Same in California. No, you can't use that word. We're going to put you in jail now. Which is Florida style. With that Nazi governor you guys got.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah.
He really is a disturbed man.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
unfortunately, he got enough support to get reelected.
Overwhelming support.
Yeah, this is what I was just going to say. I mean, who is disturbed? DeSantis or the voters?
Both.
Yeah, the voters mostly are just hateful bigots, so as long as he keeps expounding the rhetoric that everybody with an AR-15 will be rich as soon as they grind the Ford to the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me?
So it's nothing on the order of a change of administration that's basically going to solve the problem, because you get rid of the people who are here. Are the people who the voters bring in to replace them going to be worse? I don't know.
Well, at least
like
in the
many,
case of DeSantis, a lot of it is extreme gerrymandering.
I was
Yep.
just
Oh,
about
yeah.
to say that. I was just about to say that. A lot of it has to do with people. People get in power, they want to keep power, and they'll just do anything to do it, and they don't give a fuck about. It's just help me keep my seat.
Well, the latest bullshit from DeSantis is he kicked 2 million people off of Medicaid.
That makes sense.
I know that's been one of their goals.
Oh, that's what scares the hell out of me, because I am in absolute need of Medicare. I am in absolute need of Social Security disability. And I know that there are people, champing at the bit to cut those programs into nothing. How many of us depend on that? I mean, here on this panel, how many of us depend on that sort of thing?
Yep.
I do.
Same here.
Me.
Okay, so that's already 4 out of 6.
But that's kind of it's a bad sample. Most of the people who are on online stuff this time of day are disabled people, because we have the time. We're home. We're bored to death.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Yes, you've got a point.
No, I'm still working because I have to, but and I can, but it's getting to the point where it's rather difficult, to be honest. You get old.
Well, that's the damn problem, is that unfortunately, yeah, we end up old, broken, or both.
Yeah, Clara's trying to get something in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I obviously live in a different country, but like I would, if I lived in the US, I would need something like that. I do have disabilities. I have ADHD and a hearing problem, and yeah, and of course I'm trans, so it comes with medical things. Yes, I would need it if I need it if I lived in the US, but we have different things.
Mhm.
So that means that Stephanie's our only freak.
Yeah.
No, I'm a freak. I'm a
Well-
freak in a different way. I'm a
Hey,
different
hey,
kind of freak.
hey, you live in a place where the medical system actually works.
Yeah,
Yeah, that must be nice.
Ours works too for
yes, it
other
is.
people other than the patients.
Mhm.
Well, it works basically for the insurance companies when you come down to it.
Yeah. Predatory insurance companies, that's what it works for.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I have no idea.
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
know. I don't know if I'd want to see any of the invoices or anything. I was in hospital. Let's see now. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I don't think I want to know what the total charge for that would be. I mean, I can't even handle the co-payments. So I'm getting love letters from collection agencies already, but the one I know about was the very first time recently that I was in emergency room, and their charge was $13,000 for that visit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So no
Yeah.
idea what I'm worth as far as charges levied against me. Monetary charges.
Well, getting sick in the U.S. is a death sentence.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
it is.
Unfortunately, the insurance company is always too short-sighted. They're only looking forward to, at most the current quarter. So they even do stupid moves for themselves.
Okay, yeah.
That's true.
Well, when Sloth Girl had first started chemo, her doctor wanted to give her an additional drug, mostly that minimizes the side effects.
Okay, yeah.
The insurance company refused to pay for it. And basically, this last round, when she was in the hospital for 10 days, the doctor said, if they'd given you that drug in the first place, you wouldn't be here.
Mm.
So, now she, has to wait 6 weeks to restart chemo. And they're finally giving her the drug that the doctor asked for before her first chemo session.
You're really sounding like a socialist.
Well,
That's good. I'm glad I'm coming across right.
I remember back in the day when insurance companies, health insurance companies, were mostly not for profit. There was a
Right.
time when that was the case,
Well,
and
wasn't
that all
that
changed. That all changed with St. Ronnie Reagan. I fucked this country up worse than anything.
Well, wait a minute. Wasn't it earlier? Didn't Nixon sign legislation that?
Yeah,
really-
Nixon was in there too.
Yes, I know that he's the one who allowed what is it? The HMOs that really started to mess things up.
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Okay, the common denominator is we have to stop electing politicians to office.
We have to stop electing people that don't consider the general welfare to be something that really matters to anybody.
Well, okay. That being the case, we've got to change ourselves from being a corporatocracy into something else.
That's true.
Because right now we're run by corporations. They got it wrong when Truman said, "What's good for General Motors is good for the country." They forgot he also said,
that was Calvin Coolidge.
Say again?
I think that
That was Calvin Coolidge.
Oh, that was Coolidge. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't Coolidge. I think it was Coolidge's Secretary of Commerce, something like that.
Yeah,
Someone
because I thought
seriously said that.
well, he didn't say anything.
What did they say?
What's good for General Motors is good for the country.
Oh yeah, it's a historic quote. You know, and
Yeah,
it was kind of in a different context back then, but
that was in a movie titled after a cartoon character, Lil Abner,
Oh, okay.
back in the 60s.
Well, it might have been, but it is a direct quote. I can Google it.
Except I think theirs was specifically what's good for General Motors is good for the USA.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'll Google it.
Now you got me thinking over here.
No, it's literally
Thank you.
it was from a member of Coolidge's administration in the 1920s.
All right, let's see what we've got. Where am I going? Library of Congress. That looks like a good place to look. Okay, yeah, it's misquoted quite a lot. The story behind the misquote goes back to 1953 when President Eisenhower nominated Charles E. Wilson to be Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
There were concerns about Mr. Wilson. Some felt he might lack the objectivity needed as Secretary of Defense. Not only had he been president of GM, which had a large number of defense contracts, he also owned a large amount of the company's stock.
What a coincidence.
Isn't it? The confirmation hearings were held before the Senate Armed Services Committee on 15 January and 16 January and proved to be a little heated. Well, usually are. After some delay, Wilson reluctantly agreed to sell his shares and was confirmed. Over the course of the hearings, there was a lot of back and forth between Wilson and the senators, but in the hearing transcript, there was an exchange related to the quote in question. All right, here we go. Senator.
What happened?
I don't know. I guess we lost Diana there.
You lost your sound there.
Diana, you got muted. Did the cat unplug your mic or something?
Yeah, I think the cat might have muted her.
I think the government's after her.
Cat got your tongue?
Can you hear us, Diana?
Yeah, Diana, we can't hear a thing from you.
Shit.
I don't think she can hear us either.
Yeah. Well, Diana was doing her own stream before this, so I think Sylvie has just decided she spent too much time on the computer and is supposed to be petting the cat now.
Obviously.
Yes. Always pet the cat.
I was doing all my running around yesterday. Yeah, I went over to the Dollar Tree, and they actually have some decent candy there.
Yeah, they do. They have Brock's, and I've been to mine local too.
Yeah, I picked up some creamsicle flavored taffy.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
right.
420. I am not running for president. Possibly vice president, but yeah, no, I'm not taking the blame for everything. But yeah, as far as the dollar store candy, I've been getting these bags of hard candies I like there.
You like it hard, huh?
Well, yeah, but what girl doesn't?
Lesbians?
Hey, we can like it hard too.
Depends
Yeah,
on the technique.
I also got myself some of the pineapple flavored Harborough gummies.
And we garlic.
Yep. They do get some things that, are even good name brands. They just wind up selling them in very small packages then.
Yeah, this is fine by me. And sometimes I only want a small package.
Well, I'm happy. All you need to make me happy is my Necco wafers, and maybe some lifesavers once in a while for shits and giggles.
You're still muted, Diana.
Yeah, Diane, it still won't let me unmute you. You gotta do it from your end.
Looks like you're muted on StreamYards.
Yeah, but it won't let me unmute her. There we go. Okay.
Nope.
Nope, we're still not hearing you. Nope.
Still
Sorry,
nothing.
Diana, still something on your end.
Come on, Di,
you're
get it
unmuted
together.
now, but still don't hear you. Yeah, Sloth Girl likes these Albanese gummies, and it's a bigger assortment. I think there's something like 12, 13 flavors in the bag.
Never heard of them.
And well, she loves them. I actually get them at Menards, which I find a little odd, but it was funny because when we lived in Michigan, I mean, I've been going to Menards pretty much all my life, and I even understand their stock tags now. But after she had been living up there for 6 months, every time I was going to Menards, I was like buying out all of these gummy bears for her. And after about 6 months, I noticed on the stock tag that their stock level on them had changed from 2 to 6 because because I was consistently buying them out.
I bought a little package, just a dollar size packet of these orange cream filled Twizzlers, and I just realized that they're not anywhere to be found. How disappointing!
Of course, since all the prices have gone up. Excuse me, Sloth Girl and I don't call Dollar Tree a dollar store anymore. It's the 5-quarter store. Everything's $1.25 now.
I've also heard Dollar Tree, the quarter bush.
Actually, it seems more like about 30% store. All those things that I would regularly buy there went up 30%.
Like I say, what I'm seeing here is everything's $1.25 instead of $1.
Yeah.
A couple of things did go up to $1.50.
I was buying a cup of noodles, 3-pack. They're $1.50. Now they're $1.85. So that's even more than 30%. That's what I want to know is where do these people, these corporations, get off saying, "Oh, we got to raise our prices because of inflation"? Well, why are you raising them 3 times the amount of inflation then?
Yep.
There's price gouging, and a lot of the stuff that they're raising prices on, and this even being affected by the supply chain.
And they would say, "Oh, well, they'll come back down." No, they won't. You guys are never going to bring the prices down.
Well, they will come down from what they are now. They will never come back down to their original level. See, they crank it, it's like they crank it up $3 so that then people feel grateful when they lower it $1 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Menards is a regional home center. I forget it. Even in the U.S., a lot of people don't know them. But it's just like Home Depot, except it's a family-owned company, and they only operate in like 12, 13 states.
Yeah, and as long as you don't mind their politics of covering over wetlands to build stores that start to sink later, they're just fine to buy from. They had a major fight in Wisconsin, which is their home state, over some wetlands. They wanted to build some warehouse or something up near where they are originally from, and it was right over these wetlands. You know, very, very valuable. All wetlands are valuable. Nothing should ever be built on them. And they could have gone anywhere in the state and gotten any places they wanted that was not wetlands, and they just had to have that area. You know?
I had not heard about that.
So I lost all my respect for them when that happened.
I said, I hadn't heard about that. What I had heard was that, you know, they've been good to their employees. I've actually over the years known several people who have worked there.
Oh shit!
And even friends that were openly pagan did not, you know, have any issues with them.
Well, they do sponsor a NASCAR race car.
They do that as well. I don't know why, but yes.
Oh, it's tremendous advertising. You can't beat racing ads.
Yeah, I know from a business viewpoint. I don't get NASCAR. It's just not a thing for me.
That's all right.
Not like I'm a big fan of any professional sports, so it's not really even like I'm, you know, singling out NASCAR. I pretty much feel the same way about professional football.
You're just anti-sport.
Well, I'm anti-professional sports. You know, I say I did wind up going and seeing the St. Paul Saints, which is like, you know, the Minnesota Twins farm team. And I actually rather enjoyed that because it actually seemed like these guys were actually out there trying, you know, because they're the ones who are trying to get into the big leagues. So they're playing their hardest trying to impress people. You know, a lot of my disdain for professional sports, you know, are these millionaires who are out there who are going to get paid a couple $1 million a game regardless, so they don't really give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Orla said NASCAR is just sports ball for powered wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Careful. I know more about NASCAR than you do.
Well, apparently, Sam Smith is pissing off the conservatives again.
Oh, isn't that funny?
You've seen that, huh? His Satanic Grammys show.
And what's the funniest about it is, if they weren't such pussies and going after everybody who's LGBT, that wouldn't happen. He did it precisely because of the LGBT hate movement of the Republicans. Yep.
Interesting. I watched the full clip of it on YouTube. It wasn't that bad of an act. No, not exactly my taste in music, but.
Well, I think it's wonderful that that's going on. And like you, it's not because it's, for me, it's not because it's some great talent or something. It's because it's a political stick it in your goddamn bigoted face kind of thing.
Yeah. Diana's saying that her mic won't connect, so
yeah,
I guess she is not going to be back with us anytime soon.
Bye, Guy.
Bye.
I was watching a live stream by David Feldman, who's referring to Marjorie Taylor Greene as a temporal lobe seizure with bleached blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you
during-
hear the other day threatening to leave Congress?
Oh, that'd be such a shame.
That's
I'd
not,
hate
not
to
a
see that.
threat.
Who was?
That's not a threat.
Well,
Marjorie
Marjorie
Taylor
Taylor Greene last week was on some Fox News show complaining how being in office has caused her to lose money.
That I really feel bad for her.
You really,
Bullshit.
you lose money in the. You really have to be. Never mind.
Yeah.
Look, Lauren Boebert went from damn near zero income to $140 million in the bank before she even started Congress. Between the time she met Ted Cruz and won her seat in Congress. Gee, where did that money come from, I wonder? Fuckers.
Yeah, and I'm sure she'll have a comfy position when she's out of office.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably already made deals with some corporation to assure that.
Fox News.
Could be Fox News, or it could be just like one of the oil companies or somebody who bought votes for her.
Well, she is blonde. I don't think she'd make Fox. She is blonde, but she's not very pretty.
Yeah.
That's a requirement.
Or Green.
Green. Boebert's
Green
not blonde.
That. No, that's right.
Does anybody here watch Fox ever?
No, I just see little clips of it on the internet.
I try not to.
Isn't it all propaganda, basically?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
100%.
most of mainstream media in the U.S. is propaganda, so it just depends on which side of the propaganda you want to get.
Well, unfortunately, almost all of it is right wing because it's all corporate slanted. So they want to keep the politics favorable to corporations. It's how they convince people that things like the Black Lives Protest matter were somehow going to, be a thing to destroy the country, instead of actually an attempt to make people safe from the people who are supposed to protect us.
This latest one of this young man makes me more angry than any of them have so far. It's just, good Lord, they just beat the fuck out of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I was hearing there may have been some kind of personal vendetta on that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard that they just fired 7 more officers over it. Hey, and I just want to make a mention. If anybody's got some spare change, make some donations to Turkey. I really despise Turkey and its government, not the people, but Turkey and its government. There's 10,000 people plus who just died in an instant here. They need help. I mean, every news report you hear it's higher than the one earlier in the day. It's just horrible. It's just horrid.
I haven't heard what's going on in Turkey.
Earthquake.
Really? There was
Huge
a
earthquake.
There was a 7.8 earthquake on the border with Syria, and there's films, the rescue people out there, trying to dig people out and stuff, and the building next to them collapses on them. Okay.
Jeez.
There was a film yesterday of a little baby that they pulled out, who was born in the debris after the earthquake, and they dragged this little infant out and she still has her umbilical cord attached.
Whoa.
Okay, and her family is dead. She's all alone.
It's pretty tragic.
Yeah.
I did not hear that the count had got up to 10,000 yet, but I knew that it was a pretty horrendous situation there.
East Anatolian Fault. I didn't realize that Anatolia had its own tectonic plate.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's sort of sitting like Eurasia is. Let's see, Eurasia's headed south. Africa's headed north. Anatolia is headed towards the Aegean. And it's all kind of interesting, old tectonics there. But it doesn't,
I would,
there are like three major fault zones in Anatolian Turkey.
I would think that Anatolia is getting pushed to the east or to the west to that it's getting squeezed between Africa and Eurasia.
It's getting squeezed between Africa, Eurasia, and Arabia, because the Arabian plate's another one. I was looking at the whole thing. It's fucking complex.
Oh, I'm so glad I live in the Niagara Shield. Ain't going to be no earthquakes around here, folks. It's all granite.
Well, I think the North American Creton.
There's several different names for it. It's just this big mass of rock that's from Hudson Bay down to here.
Yeah,
Actually,
the oldest rocks on the planet are in the Canadian Shield.
Yeah, actually, Minnesota does have earthquakes from time to time, not huge ones. I was looking it up. It's actually more often than I realized. Like one very small one almost every decade. I do remember, back in like the early 1990s, there being one that was just like 3 miles from where I was living at the time. That was like a 2.8. So not enough to do any real damage, but it made the dishes on the shelf rattle.
That's neat.
I thought it was just my bowels. Because I've been known to be able to make the shelves or the dishes on the shelf rattle too.
Yeah.
Shaking the world. Shaking the world. Oh my. It's these small jobs that just take forever.
Well, yeah, it's always the details that wind up taking all your time.
Well, repairs especially, because you got to take things apart and then put them back together. It's a pain in the neck.
My
I want to
rashes,
do. Go ahead.
my rashes are starting to really take off. I might actually be able to get a harvest this by the end of the
Ooh.
week.
Oh,
Ooh,
awesome.
I love fresh radishes. Radishes is. Are you gonna mix them with horse?
I'm thinking about maybe chopping them up, mixing them with some of the Ethiopian kale I'm growing, and some maybe some pork, and like stew it or something.
Pork radish?
Yeah.
I don't know.
These are very mild radishes, at least they're supposed to be. I'm growing 4 different varieties because I've never grown radishes before. I wanted to see which ones I like the most.
And for any of you out in the chat who are non-gardeners, radishes are one of the earliest things that you can plant, and they're also one of the fastest growing and most satisfying plants to grow and eat from. I strongly recommend, if you got a little flower bed, and most of you do, go get some radish seeds and put in a couple of rows of them. And then 2 weeks later, put in another couple of rows. And then 2 weeks after that, another couple of rows. And you'll have radishes for months.
Yeah, succession planting there.
Mm-hmm. And the seeds are, what, $1.98 nowadays? $2 maybe?
Yeah, you can get some pack of radishes at the Dollar Tree, $4 for $1.
Yeah, radishes and carrots, even with our short growing season, you can get several harvests off of them in one season.
Well, we can do that here because we have so much sand, but carrots need really rich and composty soil that they can poke down in. They don't grow real good in clay.
I guess I didn't know that was an issue. I haven't gardened myself. My dad did, but my dad put so much into it that anything would grow. But yeah, part of his thing was he'd drive up to the horse riding stables and fill a couple of garbage cans with horse manure and mix those in with his compost.
That's going to help. Horsey poo-poo is really good. Get yourself a flock of home chickens. Chicken poop is one of the best fertilizers.
You want to make sure to compost that stuff before you're using it, though.
Yeah,
burn shit.
Yeah, he left it sit in the metal cans in the direct sun for a while, for a couple of weeks.
Dude, doing
it basically got baked first.
That's good.
Okay, Carol, sorry if you're not up for it today.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
What guy?
I don't know. Should we?
There's some guy who's trying to back his big ass pickup truck down the path to the bandshell and camping area where you're not supposed to have any motorized vehicles at all. According to the sign, he almost crushed.
Okay,
see, he didn't notice the sign. Didn't see the sign. Can't blame him.
So outside the range of your camera, though, so we can't see it ourselves.
No, you should be seeing it pretty much any moment.
Oh, he's going to be coming in?
No, there he is.
Yeah, now I see the truck.
So he's not supposed to be there with the motor vehicle, huh?
No, nothing. They don't even like electric bikes.
Wow.
Although it's not enforced, so they get by. Does anybody else hate electric bike riders as much as I do? They are so rude. They act like they own the fucking road. And that you should get out of their way.
Can't say I've really encountered too many.
Yeah, there's only one guy around here with an electric bike that I know of.
They're real popular around here because we have this 20-mile bike trail in our backyard.
Well, I have a legacy trail near me.
Yeah, but it's Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be all electric tricycles.
No, actually, I don't really see too many tricycles around either.
Sorry, I'm looking for an image here, but I'm not very good with these things, so this could take a bit.
Oh, guy in the band shell. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I see him.
Is he maybe trying to unload something into the band shell?
No, I'm pretty sure that door goes to the outside. He's acting like he's got a key. So he must be there. Yep, he's got a key and it's a room. I didn't know that. So he's going to steal something.
Or he's stocking something there.
He wasn't carrying anything in with him. But obviously he's supposed to be there. So I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I imagine
because he has a key, you're taking that on faith, huh?
Yeah, it's the country.
A reasonable assumption.
You know, it's very conflictual. Being a liberal who's moved out to the country, especially this being a red state, which most of the country is, because you have all these negative feelings towards red voters and all that because of what you know, what you read, what you hear, what you see on the internet, and if you're living in the city, the horrible things that you see and that kind of junk. And you maintain your liberal attitudes when you come out here, but then you find out that these are some of the nicest damn people you've ever met, and that you don't have to worry 1 second about crime. It's a conflict.
It is.
I don't know. I've lived in small towns and I did not have that feeling.
Oh,
It's all a matter.
sign, huh?
It's all a matter of tribalism.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small town, and it just felt you couldn't be different. Like if you tried to be different, if I would have gone out in women's clothes, everyone would have, the whole town would have known that day. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I can do it. Now I live in Stockholm, and I can do that.
Well, that would happen here too. I mean, everybody's business is everybody's business in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been hassled yet, and I assume that somebody's got to know that what's going on. Yeah, there's not going to be 1,000 people who are oblivious.
Yeah. Well, that was the place I was living in Michigan. There was only one openly gay man in town. And in the last year I was there, he'd been beat up twice walking home from the bar. So I kind of took that as a clue that it wasn't a good place for me to start transitioning.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, I ran a calculation based on the fact that we think there's like what 8 billion people on Earth.
Yeah, we just passed 8 billion like a month ago.
Yeah, well, if you take the number that LGBT people make up 1%, us being part of that at our 0.5%, that makes 80 million trans people or gay and trans people out there. That's a hell of a lot more than many countries.
Yeah, Sweden has 10 million. Sweden has 10 million, like 8 times the population.
Come on, we got to ramp up our indoctrination efforts. We've got to get past that billion mark.
Yeah.
Well, if you got 10 million, that means you got a million there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I used the 1%. I heard a person using it to calculate number of trans people, but I think that number's an error.
It's 0.5%.
Exactly.
That's what I had heard, that it was more like 0.5%.
But still, that's 40 million fucking trans people.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people, but still, it's a very, very tiny percentage of them. And people are losing their minds about us, and it's rather stupid.
If you only make up like 3% of the population, that'd be 236 million.
In the United States, it comes out to
it's worldwide
350, 35, 3.5 million people.
About 3.5 million.
That's a lot of people.
Yep.
Yeah, well, if we all go to the bathroom at the same time in public,
let's all flush at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
Back up the system.
We need more conventions.
We need a national movement.
Well, then we
Hey,
would all have to flush at the same time, wouldn't we?
that segues into something I've been thinking about and wanting to bring up here. We do need some kind of national organization.
Okay,
Trans people.
Sorry, go on.
No, say what you're going to say because I'm going to take a while.
Okay, it's just the thing in the side chat. I was correcting Microraptor here. Not quite. Mage is still cis.
No, I meant this room as in the room I'm in.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Trans people get kicked the shit out of us everywhere, in every legislature, any church meeting, any school meeting, anywhere that we are brought up, we are beat to crap because we are such a small number. It's interesting also though that all the people who are beating the fuck out of us, almost none of them have ever met a trans person. And none of them have ever met a physician who actually does work with trans people.
Yeah.
We have a big problem with representation. Nobody is out there to speak our truth because we are completely unorganized. Well, it's time for that to stop. And simultaneously, it's time to tap in and pool the resources of the cis community who are genuine allies, not just the ones who say, "Oh yeah, I'm an ally. Let me put this emblem up on my name." But for the people who really are, who don't turn and run when you just ask them to do something, and get them involved in part of an organization. I would like to see a trans defense league. I don't know what else to call it. We'll just call it that for now. We can change it later. And to get it going, I would like to get a hold of. Well, I made a plan. Each person, I need to get together 6 people. Okay, is my mission to get together 6 people who would want to actually commit themselves to working on this. It would take a chunk of your life. You know, it's not going to be quick and easy, and that sort of thing. But it's do it or literally die. So we would like people who would be seriously committed to it. And if I find 6 people, we can get together and have a Zoom meeting, start to do things like a mission statement, work on conceptual stuff about us, get some organizations started from the grassroots level. And then each one of those 6 people get another 6 people. And now we have a base group that we can operate from and actually begin to accomplish some of the things that should need to be done. The big things that would need to be done is to solicit people to be on it, get a membership going, get us known out there. The media is not going to help, so we're going to have to find some way to fund advertising. We can't waste our time on pamphlets and leaflets and shit. We got to get into the internet. We need to get into newspapers. We get into famous people's mouths, which I think would be quite possible because so many say that they're an ally. And just seriously, just organize and get our asses in gear because we're going to be killed. Okay, these bastard haters are very, very well organized and very, very well funded. Okay, we've got a lot we have to fight, and we've got to get something going now because what we have to be concerned about is that we get a positive message about who we are out there well before the next 2024 election. Stop whatever you're doing. Okay, that is critical for us. If we don't get something going by then, we can't blame anybody for how bad the vote goes against us. So I'm open to any comments that anybody has on it.
That sounds like a reasonable plan. It's finding people who are going to commit the time to it. And while I know it's important, realistically, I just don't have the spoons with everything else I'm already dealing with.
You would need somebody with a big platform.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, it
We
wears
have
you
a
out.
we
It
do
really
we have
wears you out.
we have a celebrity who is extremely vocal and extremely an ally, Jamie Lee Curtis, who has a transgender daughter and is very vociferously supportive of her. So I think we could get some appealing going that way from her celebrity base. You know, I imagine she knows other people then too. But she'd be somebody to recruit as one of the base numbers.
Yeah.
Who can then take that as her arm of groups that she can organize and get involved.
Well, yeah, certainly if you can get somebody who can get that kind of media attention from time to time.
We need to get a core group together that can, I mentioned before, write a mission statement, but also write down our truth. You know, take each one of the right wing's points of hatred towards us and counter it with truth. You know, let's expose these so-called doctors that they have and show them that hey, this dude's office is next to the Pizza Hut in a shopping center. Okay.
What I would like to see is the professional associations that set the standards of care, and you know, like the American Medical Association, like the American Psychiatric Association. Those people need to be more vocal.
Yes,
Indeed.
Because you
absolutely.
know, we cite these anytime, you know, trans people, any trans person who's been vocal in places like the internet or on YouTube or any of these places, we're always faced with people telling outright lies about what trans medical care is, how it's delivered, the methods of evaluation,
Yeah.
all of this stuff. They're
Yeah.
telling outright lies about this. And we cite the professional organizations. We cite our own care. We tell our own stories. We do all of this stuff. But it doesn't fucking matter because you don't get those organizations standing up and saying, yeah, she's right. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, they're right. You know, these are the procedures. These are the policies. What you're hearing from the transphobes, and they don't know what they're talking about. We
No, they
need
do know
people
what
to
they're
do
talking about.
that.
They know that they are manufacturing lies.
I'm sorry, Sammy.
Okay. And that's what we need. One of the things that we need the public to understand, that these people are purposely manufacturing lies.
And
And
we
you
can
have
say
to
that. We
understand
can
that.
say that to a fare thee well, but unfortunately, we need to get, you know, as I'll say it again, the actual organizations and professions need to get out there and support us.
Mm-hmm. That means that we should probably
vocally.
try to recruit into the core group a number of doctors who aren't afraid to speak to their own organizations.
Okay. Carol was asking about the line, Jimmy Snow, and not that I want to go too much into it, but he's not the most popular person with the queer community.
Jimmy's got a unique sort of situation going on in certain respects. I mean, Jimmy's about Jimmy. Jimmy's about showbiz, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't take that, and he is an ally. I'm not going to take that away from him. But anything you do in a media space is going to be problematic because it's going to depend on who's producing that media space. Even well-meaning organizations will fuck it up every now and again.
He would be perfectly fine to be somebody involved in this, but I don't know that I would want him in the core group.
Well, Well, if you're just looking at it as a matter of a platform, don't look, go for anywhere you can get.
Yeah.
I mean,
Again, not as far as
speaking as
somebody.
someone as I've been on some of Jimmy's channels, and I'm in touch with Jimmy. And I'll probably be on the Transatlantic Calling program again sometime soon. Me and Orden have been talking about it, but it's I have a problem with I have a philosophical problem because of the reasons I just mentioned. Whenever you're dealing with media, it often comes down to eyeballs on screens and asses in seats. And that is, we're countering the same thing on the right, because for the right, it's all about eyeballs on screens and asses in seats. And to me, that's why the trans community as a whole, trans people in general, are the target, because it's sensational enough to keep eyeballs on screens and asses in seats.
And if you're trying to counter that, you want those eyeballs on screens and asses in seats while you're telling them what the actual facts are.
Yeah, true. Another person, just as far as getting exposure on YouTube, Cirrus has been a great ally for the queer community, and in particular with, debunking a lot of anti-trans videos lately.
We're not without allies. It's just every public situation is complicated. Whenever you put yourself out there, it's complicated. It always is. Just is. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That's another thing to mention. Actually, if you guys don't, I don't know how much of you are regular users of TED Talks, but go to TED Talk, go get their app and go into TED Talk and do a search on transgender, and watch the dozens of videos that they have there. Yes, many videos. And they're all positive towards us. But they contain great information, attitudes, and support.
I used to watch TED Talks a lot more in the past.
I used to listen to them a lot more. Of course, a lot of that was when my job involved a lot of driving between job sites. They were something that used to come on NPR fairly regular.
Yep. Looks like that's done. Not quite done yet, though.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot in any vicious manner, or trying to embarrass you or anything, Stephanie, but would you be interested in being in a core group?
No. I have to think about it. I've got a lot, like everybody else, I got a lot on my plate at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's definitely
that's
something
why. That's why.
Yeah, you could try sending out a bunch of DMs on Twitter or emails just to, try to contact people one-on-one and see who feels that they've got the time to do it.
Well, that's going to be an issue with any volunteer agency for its entire life.
Here's the thing.
And any volunteer agency, if you get 10% who respond to your 10,000 letters out there, you're doing good. And once you have all those volunteers, if you have 5% of them who become your core group, you're doing good.
Yeah.
I came from a volunteer program agency where I used to manage volunteers. The numbers are like that. I don't care what your program is. 5% is all that actually keeps going in it.
I don't know about the exact numbers, but I'm sure that's about right. And, I've been involved with organizing a few things, and yeah, you don't get very many people that hold on, at least much longer than organizing the first event.
Yeah, and that's fine too, because they're going to continue to be a member, and they might just be a coffee table member, but they're a member nonetheless, and they're going to have the message out there,
Mhm.
and at least the awareness of their friends and family that they're involved in this. So it's it's not a bad thing. You just got to use them correctly. Publish something so that they can put it on their coffee table.
I'm on this committee for U.S. sailing, the national governing body of the sport of sailing in the United States, and and this committee is supposed to develop rules and recommendations for trans inclusion in the sport, and it's really fucking hard. It's just really hard. There are some of us that do a fair amount of activism, and it's fucking exhausting. It takes a mental toll. There's again, spoons. I don't know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because you're sitting there, you have this situation where you have probably 65-70% of the people who aren't trans, or who will say, yeah, I don't see the problem, blah 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 blah, and then you'll have this core group of 35% of the people that say absolutely no way, never, and it's just, it's hard. And and some of them are really vocal, and some of them are clearly, call out names, but it's just exhausting. And they'll be cordial enough. It's like nobody will, I've never had a problem. Before 2015, this issue wasn't an issue. Nobody gave a shit. And now everybody gives a shit because of this constant drumbeat. People have been radicalized against trans people over the course of the past 8 years, and it's just annoying. I started to get annoyed in 2015 when when the whole right-wing noise machine was gearing up to start this program after they lost the whole gay marriage fight. And it's just 2018 was when I really got involved, but it's just so fucking exhausting. So I'm sorry, I'm being a whiny bitch.
No.
It's justified whining.
Yep. I was just working on getting everybody's links here.
I've got a link tree. You want me to send it to you on Discord or something?
If you got another one you need to add.
Well, I don't know. What do you got?
Yeah, let me go back and what did I have for you so far here? There we are. I've got your YouTube and your Mastodon here.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Twitter is at Sidra. You can find me on Twitter. Same old thing. That was when I was anonymous. I was anonymously Sidra.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I was when I was anonymous. I never found out.
I hope no one here was using Spoutable.
Spoutable?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Apparently, it was supposed to be a Twitter clone, and it was a big ripoff, and it leaked a bunch of IP and email addresses.
Nice. That was good. That's always cool. Oh, it's just, I don't know if you saw Nitty's stream with Pine Creek Doug. God, that was awful.
I've been hearing about it. I didn't see it myself.
Well, he was just not. His whole thing is, well, you survived. His whole thing is get strong, toughen up, suck it up. What do you want? Why should we have to suck it up, buddy?
Yeah, and what about all the ones who didn't survive?
Right.
Have you
okay.
seen what the suicide rate is among trans teenagers?
Mhm.
Oh,
I was really glad Mikey Famine jumped in. I was sitting there arguing with the guy. It's like I did wind up after he jumped off the stream. I called him a fucking asshole, which is probably not the best thing I could have done, but he was a fucking asshole.
better if you did it off stream.
Huh? No, I know. I thought we were upstream, which is why it's
Ah.
According
Yeah,
to
some of the best bits of a lot of live streams are in that last 5 seconds when somebody thinks they already hit the button.
the
Mhm.
2020 report from April and PubMed, data indicates that 82% of transgender individuals have considered unaliving themselves, and 40% have attempted it. So
It's
that's a
not
pretty
good.
high number.
Yeah.
I always think of the King's letter from a Birmingham jail. It's like people who just sit there and make platitudes that, well,
Mhm.
you're so radical, you're so harsh, you're so this, you're so that, and it's, well,
Oh, and if I remember correctly, they found that getting gender affirming care actually does help reduce those feelings back to what you normally would find in your average individual.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, the reason is somebody finally listens to you because, especially it had been going so well. For us older folks, it was like you were constantly told, no, that's impossible. You're impossible. You can't possibly have these feelings. You can't possibly be like this. You're mentally ill. You've got shit, your shit's fucked up. After years of that, you internalize it. And you're like, I'm a misfit. I'm impossible. It's not a great way to live. Then you finally figure out, well, you are possible, but only at great cost, personal cost. I don't be Debbie Downer, but
Yeah, you are a misfit, and that's awesome.
all right.
Well, is the part necessarily a misfit, or are you just trying to put it in the wrong place?
Yeah, that could be true too.
Then again, a number of us are working on getting them turned inside out, more or less, but
Yeah. Hey, look at that. It only took an hour and a half.
sorry, no reference for how long that's supposed to take, so.
Well, it's supposed to take 15 minutes. It's like everything worked, I figured it was going to take about an hour and a half, so it's not too bad.
Let me get back. I'm just trying to catch up on the side chat again here.
Oh.
And there's a lot of good jokes in there, but some of them just land at a time when it's not good in the conversation.
Yeah.
That one's not bad anyway, though. Because we also have Empiric Viking throwing some jokes and threw out some poetry in there.
Nice.
But the poem was split over several things, so I couldn't really highlight the whole thing. Okay, Dog saying, I believe that because trans issues have become less taboo, more people are accepting their sexuality and coming out regardless of the flack they receive. And they do spread awareness. That's undeniable. And yeah, that's the big difference now, that people are becoming aware it is possible. So they are looking into it. They are talking about it. I mean, I started transitioning less than 2 years ago. It's not that I haven't had these feelings all my life. It's just that I had pretty much given up on it with the idea that I'd had enough time of people basically telling me that, I wasn't going to be able to do it for one reason or another.
It'll be 3 years. 3 years for me this year.
Oh, what's today? February 8th? 10
Yeah.
years? 10 years, it will be
Mm-hmm.
25. I mean, 10 days will be 25.
Well, for me, it'll be 2 years in June.
Well, I'm thinking medical transition is 3 years, but social is much longer.
Yeah, well, I didn't really start the social transitioning until I, was able to start on the hormones.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that, like I said, I do live in a rather red district and still Trump signs around. So I am surprised that generally in public I have not run into any problems with it. And even most of the neighbors in the building really don't seem to, care one way or the other.
At least they're not saying anything.
Well, I mean, they're still being as polite in the hallways as usual. One of our building's self-appointed doormen, who, was one of my issues, I knew he was likely to be a problem. And he's kind of funny because, he'll greet everybody coming in, but if he's sitting there alone when I come in, he won't say anything. I take that back. I take that back. If I'm just in jeans and a t-shirt, he'll still say something. If I'm in a skirt, he won't say anything.
That's fucked up.
Although it's kind of funny because the other day when he thought I was out of earshot, I caught one of his buddies getting on him because he had misgendered me. So that's somebody I did not expect to be an ally.
You'd be surprised. There are way more people that say, hey, what the fuck's the problem with you than not. It's the people that want to be assholes that are the most vocal. That's been my experience anyway.
Damn it. Yeah. Just bumped the wrong button on the mouse. But we've lost Jenny as well.
Yep. Oh.
Shit.
I don't think I did that. I hope I didn't knock her out by accident. Yeah, Carol, I was always out about everything else. Excuse me. It was just the transgender part that was a new reveal. Basically, because even within the trans community, I had had a lot of negative feedback. In fact, for the most part of it was for several decades, I had people telling me that I couldn't be trans if I wasn't trying to hack my own dick off.
Jesus.
You know that, and unless I had that kind of dysphoria that I really needed to get rid of it, that I wasn't really trans. I was just, something else.
Trans medicalists, fuck them.
Hey, Maya.
Girl dick is really nice. Have you considered the mouthfeel? Why is nobody talking about the mouthfeel? If anyone gets that reference.
I'm sorry, nobody's talking about what?
No, it was a counterpoint reference, like why is nobody talking about the mouthfeel?
Yeah. But yeah, I had really given up that by this age it wasn't possible anymore. So I am so grateful to have met a couple of people in this community. Particularly I credit Diana and Jenny that that it is still worth doing at any age if you're really having those feelings. Any time you have left to live as your true self. Okay, Orla, I'm not sure what that was, but oh. Okay, well, if we wound down on that subject, Mage, I saw that you had your first garden tour for the Europe.
Actually, I think it should have been my second one, actually.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah. The first one I was more listening to than watching, and I've kind of forgotten about it. But I watched your one last night.
Yeah. Good. I wasn't sure how that one was going to turn out when I was filming it, because I thought it was maybe jumping around a little bit too much and not really focusing enough. It turned out pretty decent, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to word my next garden tips video.
The next one just general tips, or?
I was thinking about doing, since I did what seed, where and where to buy any seeds and all that. I figured I'd do what plants to buy next.
Yeah, well, and that becomes very tricky because, you've got to pretty much know your climate and soil to know what's likely to grow.
Exactly. That's exactly why I'm having some difficulty coming to figure out how I'm going to word this. It's not something I can just say, well, just grow these plants.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean, that, even two people who are in the same state 50 miles apart could have completely different soil.
Oh, definitely. Even you can even be closer than that.
Yeah.
So it's probably be more of a tips on how to determine what plants would be good for your climate and all that.
Well, maybe before that, perhaps a good topic would be to do something, about determining what type of soil you have. And one of the resources that most people aren't aware of is that most public universities, especially if they have an agricultural department, Yeah, we'll usually do soil tests either for free or for, a very reasonable fee of like $5 or something.
Yeah, actually, that's another video I wanted to do, and doing a home soil test, but I'm having trouble getting the resources together for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how you would test it yourself.
It's a simple test, really. You need use distilled water or vinegar and baking soda.
Hmm.
I mean, there are videos on how to do it. I just need to get the distilled water, which I've not been able to find lately.
Really, that's been in short supply for you.
Yeah, so I might have to add in how to make distilled water.
Yeah. It was an issue here during COVID, of course, any kind of bottled water. And if people were drinking distilled water, I felt kind of sorry for them, but
Well, it's been an issue specifically with distilled water here.
yeah. But here we have such a high mineral content that, yeah, if you've got anything with a heating element, you're going to have the minerals caking up on it. So for things like irons or anything you can't clean easily, you'd better use distilled water.
So another one I just managed to get it. I think everything I need to put together was to do a experiment on whether putting the stuff in the bottom of the pots will help drain it or not, like gravel or rocks or something.
I was interested in seeing that because I've done that a lot. Like even indoors when I've done the cat grass, that I had put a couple inches of rocks in the bottom of the planter before I put the soil in.
Yeah, I've heard
mostly to make sure I don't overwater it so easily.
Yeah, I've heard that actually doing that can actually cause the soil to retain water more rather than letting it drain more. I wanted to test that out.
Yeah.
I've kind of figured out how I'm going to do it, so I can even I have these measuring cups I got at the Dollar Tree, and so I can actually measure the amount. And I'm thinking also maybe using my mailing scale to actually weigh the amount in each one.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Would be that weigh the soil before you put it in the pot. And then after you run the water through, weigh the soil again. That the difference in the weight should be how much water the soil is retaining.
Well, what I'm going to be looking at is the amount of water that drains out of the pot into the bottom of the
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
So I'll put the same amount in each one, and then whatever is drained out is it's going through the thing. So if it's retaining more water in from the rocks or whatever, then there should be less water in the bottom of the measuring cup. And I'll test out different media with it. That's a future project, though. Hoping I'll be able to get it done by before the end of the month, but we'll see. I also need to find a good level place I can set it and not to so it's out of the way too.
Oh, God. Oh, we've lost Microraptor too. Why is everybody dropping out on us?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are we going to have to throw it in and just wrap it up here?
Maybe.
Probably by the time we go around, we'll be up to the 2-hour mark. So.
Well, I already went over the stuff I'm I've got plans in the near future here, so my channel.
Okay, I'm just checking Twitter to see if possibly Jenny said anything. I'm going to assume it was probably her battery went dead, so she's got to wait till she gets home to recharge.
Yeah,
That's a
that'd be my
possibility.
guess. Anyway, for anybody who doesn't know where my channel is, there's the link in the chat. And since we're wrapping up, and this is Opera Day, there.
Yeah, but you have to make her sing.
She is singing.
Oh, okay. Clara did say that that she had to go there. I didn't see that in the private chat. Oh, yeah. I don't really have too much going on other than tomorrow night. Saturday night, Atheist Edge is trying to run a fundraiser for a homeless vet friend of theirs.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know the person who it's for, but I know Kaz and Jim from Atheist Edge, so I know they wouldn't get into anything that wasn't a serious problem. So I will be hosting on their channel on Saturday night from 10 to midnight.
Is there anything we can do to help out Alex?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do anything from here. Yeah, if people haven't heard, Alex, Bub's partner, Bub's family has made them feel completely unwelcome. So they feel they cannot continue to live there. So they are in the middle of Ohio. So if anybody can help out with a place that they could live, they've had a really rough life, and abusive past relationships and so forth. Carol, I don't know what happened there. Did your return key get stuck? Yes, we are all apes.
Yes, we are.
They have the great apes and they have the lesser apes. So what about the mediocre apes? Why don't we have even a fossils of those?
Yeah, really.
I mean, yeah, okay. These weren't great apes, but they were okay in their time.
Yeah.
Okay, Carol's just trying to pat things out to get YouTube to promote us more. I appreciate the effort. And I do appreciate, everybody being active in side chat, because I know that does improve the chances that YouTube will actually suggest this to other people. Although I've got such a tiny channel, I'd be fairly surprised if I show up in anybody's suggestions.
I don't know, maybe we can set up a GoFundMe or something to help Alex get a, have a place to get a roof over their head or something. I don't know. Just throwing ideas out.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to check with Bub and Alex about what's going on. Okay, there's Jenny. Hey, Jenny.
Hello.
Hi. This is what happens when your battery goes flat. Oh,
That's what we were
Mhm.
guessing.
That's what we figured.
made you look really cute.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
Mage put that on because we thought we were going to wrap up here, but if you've still got something to talk about, we could keep going.
No, no. I imagine you guys talked and came to some kind of reasonable thing at the end. I'll catch you individually to talk about it.
Oh, you heard me. I was just saying, well, trying to figure out ideas and how to help Alex.
Yeah. Bub's partner, Alex.
I thought they lived together.
They do, but Bub's family has made Alex feel completely unwelcome, so Alex is feeling they cannot continue to live there.
Oh, I thought they had their own place.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who it is that owns the house that they've been staying at.
Frankly, I thought Bub's family was passed on.
He doesn't talk much of his family, so I don't really know, what the situation. I don't really even know how many siblings he has. But anyway, yeah, anything more about that would kind of devolve into gossip since he's not here and I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. All right. So.
Okay, Jenny, have you got anything coming up? You're going to be showing up anywhere else?
I would like to try to get on as many programs as I can to talk this concept up. So if you guys know any presenters, give them a chat me up and get me on their programs.
Oh, in fact, I was on RHE podcast, and he actually was saying he wants me back on a monthly basis, so maybe I can help out there.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Diesel. He's on RHE podcast.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Whoever, anybody and everybody, especially if they're known to have a trans following.
So, what kind of topic would you want to have covered in something like?
Well, we want to cover the putting together a national organization, getting people, names down on paper and contact information, and make it really happen.
Okay, Carol's suggesting James Apperson.
I don't know who that is, and I'm you caught me. I'm without pen, and paper, and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, Carol. If you could send her links on Twitter, would be best. I don't know James Apperson, personally or anything. I've watched a few of his streams, and I know he is an ally for the queer community. I don't know anything beyond that.
I've got one woman I met on TikTok. She is just absolutely dynamic. She's a community member herself, not trans, but still LGBT. And I think she's brilliant, and she has this wonderful speaking style and really knows her stuff. She could shred anybody. So I think she'd be good. And I talked to her, and she said she'd be very excited to get involved in something like that.
Well, I was just mentioning that that Saturday night, Atheist Edge is doing a fundraiser for a homeless vet friend of theirs. So I'm going to be on there from 10 to midnight, and it's going to be kind of an open room thing. So if you wanted to come over for that,
just send me a link.
Yeah, we're still working out the details, so I don't quite have anything other than the time yet.
Raging Atheist. I forget who that is.
Well, there's
Rage.
Well, there's
Nakasuchi is the Raging Atheist.
Who?
Nakasuchi.
Oh, okay. I don't know them then.
Jenny, there's Diesel's Twitter in the private chat there. You can maybe contact him, let him know I sent you his way. You can maybe talk to him about what you want to do. See if you'd be interested in doing a show.
Okay, that's good. Can you see that in the side chat, Jenny, or should I send that to you on Twitter? In the StreamYard private chat, not the YouTube chat. Actually, Raging Atheist has been rebranding his channel. He's going from rage to reason. Yeah, well, because he is saying that he's, starting to get past the rage phase and still wants to have reasonable discussions with people of different belief systems.
So he'd be the reasoning atheist.
Something like that. Although, there are certainly topics that rage is the correct response to. So we need a couple of people who are going to rage and scream, because sometimes that's the only thing that some people will hear. Yep. Jenny dropped again. Okay, well, Stephanie, did you have any final words before we shut down here?
Not really. I'm just sort of trying to muddle along.
Yep.
Keep things going. So you catch me around. I happen to stop by here and there.
Okay, well, I do appreciate everybody in the side chat. Like I said, the more activity there is in the side chat, the more chance that YouTube might decide to show my channel to somebody who doesn't already know us. And that would help. And maybe at this rate, maybe in another 4 years or so, I can get up to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I've been doing this 5 years, and I'm over 500 now. So
it's pretty good.
My garden channel's up to 103.
Yeah, it's interesting how many other atheist channels I promoted when they started out. Many of them when they had less than 100 subscribers, and they have just blown way past me.
Well, mine's not an atheist channel, but I DM'd Diesel there about if you saying that you may want to contact him. So, Jenny.
Sure. Well, also, if you know somebody who has a show, just say, hey, get this person on your show. It's okay to promote somebody.
Yep.
I definitely want to be able to hook up with Katie Montgomery and get on her show with her audience size.
Might also talk to Amy Newman.
I was just going to suggest that.
She'd probably get you in one of her live streams.
Yeah, I know. I know her. I've met her a little bit. I hadn't thought of her. Thanks for reminding me.
She's been doing more stuff like late at night, like after midnight. So that's why I've been catching more of her lately.
She's kept me up until 5 o'clock in the morning a couple of times. I can't do that. I can't do this anymore.
Any guess on her audience size?
Huh?
Any guess on her audience size?
I don't know offhand.
No, she usually has on some of those live streams. She'll have like 30 people tuning in. I don't know how many subs she has. It's well over 1,000. Well,
1.33K subs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm up to 13%.
Okay, well, I was going to be shutting down here, so I just need to thank everybody for coming. Like I said, I do appreciate everybody in the side chat. We appreciate the input. We appreciate, questions to the panel whenever you have them. We appreciate the jokes just to, keep the tension from building too much when we get on serious topics.
And if anybody out there happens to have an iPhone 14 Plus Pro that you're not doing anything with, send it to me, okay?
Awesome.
Oh,
Okay.
student Dr. Ben might be a good one to try and get on board with this.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, and I would like to thank the people, who helped me financially. As I say, Skits Crasher's been sending me a bit on PayPal every month. Robert X, who was also in the side chat here, and I do appreciate people like Robert X and Ox who are here moderating for me. So even if I'm not watching the side chat all the time, they, keep anything that doesn't belong there out. Diana, Lavender Lady, if you're still with us, I'm not sure. Kitty the Atheist, Saul, Vonrek SoulStrider, and Greg Hartwick, who has always been a very generous supporter of the community and I know has helped many, many people out over the last couple of years, but prefers to just dwell in the side chat and never come on directly.
Couldn't we call her Athie the kittiest? No, never mind.
Do anything you want. Call her anything.
So, okay, with that, we will bid you all a good afternoon and we will see you tomorrow night.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
La
Nice.
la la la.
Love you.